I'm not on. There we go. Now I'm on. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to 2025. Yes, give me some claps. Y'all know how it is. Give me some love. Welcome to 2025's edition of the Coaches Show, and I'm excited to be here today at our first show for the season. I have joined with me today Connecticut Sun head coach Rachid Meziane. Hello.
Hello.
Or shall I say bonjour? You know, I used to be
Bonsoir.
president of the French club, right? And then I went to France and realized I really don't know French as well as I thought I did. Okay. And then we also have associate head coach Roneeka Hodges. Give some love to Roneeka. Hey, coach.
Hello.
Thank you so much. So if it's your first time here joining us for the Coaches Show, we've got some questions that we're going to ask, but we also want to hear questions from you. So if you've got something that you've been burning to ask our coaches, then please save them in your mind. Someone's going to be coming around with a pen and paper for you to write your question down so that we can get your question asked at the end of the show, right? But to kick us off, I'm going to start with you, Coach Rachid. First, congratulations on your first WNBA win. Just kind of want to talk about for a second what that moment meant to you personally and professionally as a new coach in the league.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. That first win, was meaning a lot for me personally and professionally. But personally, it was a moment of pride, of humility and gratitude. You think about all the journey, all the years of hard work, all the sacrifice, who led me here, and all the people who support me. And yeah, you think about the dream to being WNBA coach and competing and succeeding in the highest level in the world. And and professionally, a win in this league don't come easy.
At all.
They never come easy. So it's not just about a win, but that win, was a first step for us, and that first win, give us, and some motivation to keep growing and pushing forward.
Absolutely. And again, I mentioned it being, your first year coaching in the WNBA. So many coaches, specifically internationally, want to coach in this league. Just how has that part of it, minus the wins and losses, just, how has it been for you, your experience being able to coach in the WNBA?
I would say first, it was a wonderful reminder of, how and why I love, coach. And can you just repeat your question?
Yes, absolutely. Just the overall experience of being a head coach in the WNBA.
Yeah, it's an incredible, experience so far to be a WNBA coach.
Yeah.
I can already say that just being 1 month and the WNBA coach, I can already say that the intensity, the physicality, the professionalism are something unmatched. You cannot compare, this to the rest of the world.
Yeah, agree. And Coach Hodges, I want to bring you in to the conversation because, we aren't going to overlook or gloss over the fact that it's been a challenging start for the team this season so far. But just kind of thinking about that, I think what has been what you would consider maybe a big learning moment for you as a coach, and just being in this particular place where there's turnover. It's been different from last year, specifically for you coming from New York. So it's very different. But what has maybe been a biggest learning moment for you?
You know what? I've been thinking about that, and I try to sit with my experiences every day. And when I think about it and I put it into perspective, I don't think it's been a biggest learning moment. I think we learn something new every day. Yeah. Just with this team and the experiences that we're going through, being that it's a new roster and the turnover, like you talked about, it's a process, And we've basically started from the ground up and building something special here. And I think we understand not to skip steps in the process. So each day we continue to grow, each day we continue to build, and we continue to try to uplift the team.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And coach, for you, your message, your delivery, your approach, I think we've kind of talked about this before, just you and I, but just what do you believe has been your approach to this season? How do you think the team has received how you approach things differently than, how maybe any other coach or any other program would receive your message?
Yeah, I won't say that my approach is very simple. I try to create, a strong culture built on the trust, on the honesty, and on the transparency, and the communication. On the court, we try to emphasize, the connection with the players. And off the court, we try to build our chemistry with some team meetings, with some shared goals, and just give space to the players to grow and to grow on and off the court.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, Coach Hodges, we got to show you some love now. Because you got promoted to associate head coach, and that cannot be under. Can y'all make some noise for Coach Hodges on her promotion? I know that. Do it come with a raise? We get a raise, sis? Okay, never mind. Thought he's gonna love me. I was gonna say drinks on you, Coach. No, but just what was that moment like for you, being able to be elevated in that way?
It was an awesome moment. I'm grateful for Rachid and the organization just entrusting in me and believing in who I am as a coach, what I stand for as a person, and their commitment to helping me grow as a coach. I think that that's something that's super, super important for me, and not only me, but other young coaches who are aspiring to be more, and I think for the organization and Rachid to support me the way that they have, I'm very, very appreciative of this opportunity.
I love that. Coach, what was it that you saw in Roneeka that made you want to elevate her to that next level?
Elevating, Roneeka to the associate head coach involve many factors. Mm-hmm. And as you know, we are starting a new cycle. We are writing a new story. And so I took this decision because I want the best for our organization and our team. And there is a ton of work to do with this team, and I saw her as someone who can take some charge of or some work. She earned my trust. She earned the player trust, and she's aligned with my program vision and my culture.
That's a great response, because it leads me into our next conversation where we're talking about it's a new cycle here, it's a new change here. So you want to build a new culture, right? You want to build a new culture here with this team, and I think that happens in a bevy of different ways. Different people have different approaches to doing that, to building a new culture. But for both of you, because I would love to hear both of you answer this question. What do you think has been, I don't want to say the most challenging, but what exactly is your coaching philosophy and your approach to building and changing the culture here? And the reason why I ask that is because, while you both are on the same team, but typically what makes a good connection is that one person will do something a little bit differently than the other person, right? One person will approach something a little bit differently than the other person, and it makes sense when it comes together. So for both of you, what is your coaching philosophy, and how does that impact changing the culture here?
I want to say first that we are not here to replicate or to copy the last season. Our players are different, the power are different, and we are here to build something that reflects our strengths and our personalities. And so it will be for sure different. About my coaching philosophy, my coaching philosophy is also simple. My coaching philosophy is built on 3 pillars. The connection between the players, the accountability and the competitiveness. So I also believe that the relationship are important. Mm-hmm. So how knowing our players, understanding what what drives them, are something very important for me, and it's how I wanted to approach my work.
Awesome. And for you, Coach?
Well, for me, when I think about philosophy, I'm aligned with Rachid 100% and what he wants to do and how he wants to continue to build the culture. When we talk about people and we talk about humans, we think about the players, right? And we think about how we want to connect to them and how we want to involve the people in the process.
Right.
So that's something that's super, super important to me. And when I think about, like, one of the things that's the most important to me, I like to look at myself as a player's coach. So I think about how can I relate to them, but still be respected and still keep the standard high.
Yeah.
And then I think about, like, hard work. What does that look like? What does that take? And I think that that's part of what we both believe in and what we're trying to instill in this group.
Yeah, let's go a little deeper into that, though, because that's a great point. When you have played in this league and you've played this game, you have a little bit of a different understanding than some others may. And I think players respect that. I think players appreciate knowing that, you know, we have a coach who understands because they've truly been in our shoes. How do you use your player experience into what you do as a coach?
You know, I draw from it every day. I try to, first, I'll lead with, I draw from it every day, but I also understand that there's a separation between player and coach, you know, because you can't approach every single situation the same way you did as a player once you turned into a coach. But I draw from those experiences, and I like to think about, like, how a coach handled me in a certain situation.
Yeah.
Or how a coach handled a situation with the team that I was in. And I try to base my approach and my way of thinking on that. What I would have liked to have happened.
Yeah.
Was it the right decision? And who do I want to be moving forward as a coach? So I always put myself in those situations, and I just try to keep building and drawing from the experiences and making the decisions as they come.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. So let's get into the team a little bit, right? And let's kind of talk about some players. And you mentioned that this is a brand new team, right? With the exception of Marina and maybe Olivia. For the most part, this team is practically all new here. And so each of them, I think it's fair to say, has kind of gone through their own sets of changes and development just in the last 2 months, 3 months since training camp. So for each of you, who is a player that you would say this is where they started, but they have really grown so much since we first started working with them? So any player, you go first, or?
So the one player that comes to mind, I would say, is JC Sheldon.
Good one.
And I would say JC because she's always been JC, you know? Yeah. She brought the same intensity, she played with the same passion, she played with the same energy in Dallas. Yep. But she's come here and she has gotten, I wouldn't say more, but I would say a different type of opportunity, just because we've asked so many different things of her. You know, she's versatile, she could defend multiple positions, she's high energy, she's shooting the ball well, she's getting to the basket, we're asking her to defend full court, we're asking her to do things maybe that she didn't think she could do, or maybe it was not really asked of her on this level. And I wouldn't say that she has been a surprise, I would say that she's been a great addition to the Connecticut Sun.
That's a great one. And you know what I think to add to that about JC is that she kind of was overshadowed a little bit. No fault of her own. I mean, when you come into the league with some of the biggest names in college basketball, people kind of forget what you're capable of doing. So I love that Connecticut is giving her an opportunity to kind of show in a different way what she's capable of doing. Absolutely. How about for you, Coach?
I would say that Olivia impressed me. I think that she understood, you know, the type of opportunity she has with us this season. Yep. And she came back, you know, from her overseas season. She plays in China, and she came back with a lot of confidence. Yep. And you know, I like, you know, how she handled this new role. And you know, she's also a hard worker. She has a good work ethic. So yeah, she impressed me by just, you know, the confidence she's playing with.
Now, I know that y'all can't say that y'all have a favorite player, but I can say that I have a favorite player. And it is definitely right now my girl, Sanaya Rivers. Like, Sanaya is just, y'all make some noise for Sanaya, okay? Sanaya has literally, I mean, I think about what that girl has been through and how she just still feels to be a burst of positive energy is like it is unmatched. What has impressed you about Sanaya?
Her versatility, because she can defend a lot of position, position 1 to 4, and she is constantly asking questions. She studies a lot. She's watching a lot of film, and she is doing a lot of things that we cannot see on the stat sheet. So like I would say, her work ethic, and she's a very coachable. And she's hungry. She wants to be, one of the best players in this league. So hopefully we can help her to be this player.
Love that. Love that. How about you?
And for me, the thing that sticks out to me, first I would like to say that I love Sanaya.
See what I mean?
But she is a sponge for information. If I had to define it, I would put Sanaya's face in the dictionary next to a sponge for information. And I love that for her. And the thing that warms my heart about her is all of the things that she's gone through at this young age, to be able to handle all of the adversity and to be able to compartmentalize and still show up for the team night in and night out is commendable.
Yeah, agreed. Just love her strength and resiliency. I just think these rookies nowadays are different. Like, I don't know what it is. You think when you see a rookie that they'll come in and they'll want to learn and they'll want to grow and develop. But these rookies are coming in like, no, I'm coming for a spot. Like, I'm coming to play, right? And it's amazing to see, even with Anissa, right? Like, I feel when I see her that every opportunity that she's given, she's trying her best to make the most of it. What would you say is the expectation for Anissa as she continues to get more minutes, as she continues to get healthy? What's the expectation for her?
The expectations are very high for her.
Yeah.
Very high. But to be honest, we have to to take the some times with her, because we have to care of our body, but for sure we accept a lot for her to play a big role with us, and she is someone who easy to I don't want to say to coach, but she brings that something you cannot teach her. Okay? She brings a lot of energy. She brings a lot of toughness, and so we just need now to work with her and to build just try to develop her to understand our offensive system, our defensive system.
Yep.
But she's someone very important in our team, and we want to rely on her for our future. But our future doesn't mean the lasting future, but just be sure that we are doing the good job with her on the good timing.
Love that. Yeah, definitely want to take good care of the future of the franchise for sure. Marina Mabry, right? That little firecracker there, Marina. Love Marina. Love her energy. Love her passion. She always shows that on the court all the time. She shows her passion. The fans either love Marina dearly or hate Marina dearly. Depends on if you're playing against her or if she's on your team. But she's had some really great offensive performances, specifically in the matchups that Connecticut won against Atlanta and against Indiana. So I'll start with you because I'd like to hear from you both. But, what is it about Marina that as she's trying to embrace this new role as a leader for this team?
I think it's her competitive edge, her competitive spirit. I think that she, that's something that she brings. That's just a part of her makeup. That's just a part of who she is. And I think when you see her playing at her best, you see us having success. Now, that's not to say that everything is on Marina, but this new leadership role that she has stepped into, I think that it's something that is going to be important for the Connecticut Sun. It's something that's going to be important for Marina as she continues to grow and she continues to build her resume in this league and she continues to grow as a player.
Okay. And for you, Coach?
I think that her offensive talent speak for herself. Marina is a competitor. She's a shot maker, and she's never afraid, on the I mean. On the hard moments, on the tough moments, she will never, be scared to take this shot and stuff like that. But I will say too that I challenge her. I have challenged her, to be a leader and to be a leader not just through her game, but through her, voice and how she can be in the locker room, how she can just, share her passion. We talk about her passion because she's a very competitor, so her passion has to be contagious. Yeah. And but she embraced this role. She's learning to be the best leader as possible, and just try to elevate her teammate and elevate the team.
Yeah, I love that about Marina. She told me a couple of weeks ago when we were chatting, she said, if you would have told me 9 years ago that I would have been in this position, I would have been like, nah, not me, not the 19th pick, like not. And I think that just kind of shows the kind of person that she is, because she understands the moment and the opportunity, and it feels like she wants to make the most of it. And that's like I feel like any coach would love to have a person on their team that wants to make the most of the opportunities that they're given. So love that about Marina. But I'll be on the sideline like, Marina, bring it down, girl. Bring it down. Keep it together. Who I don't have to say that about, though, now, maybe not 10 years ago, but now is Tina Charles. 10 years ago, you definitely would have had to say, Tina, bring it down. But now she has fully embraced her role as a veteran. And it just feels like everyone who talks about playing with her talks about how much she's impacted them, just learning from her. So from both of your perspectives, how has Tina really used her experience to kind of impact those around her positively? Like, how has the team gravitated to her wisdom?
For me, Tina is a professional shot maker. That's how I would describe Tina. And I think what she brings to us offensively is something that we really, really need and something that we really, really embrace. Like her presence inside, I think it's been something that's also played a huge part in our success. The way she has carried us in the paint. I think it's important for this young team to continue to see her do that work. Yeah. And I think the one thing that may go overlooked because people aren't behind the scenes is the way that she takes care of her body. And I think that's something that's super, super important as a professional athlete, just understanding what it takes to maintain, to build, and to grow. It's not just to show up to practice or just to show up to games. It's also the maintenance and all of the things that you have to do to prepare yourself for a game. And I think that Tina is the ultimate professional.
Love that. Coach?
Yeah, I won't say that on the court, she brings stability in the post, and she demands some attention from the defense, and just being in the floor, she can create space for her teammate. And the thing I like on Tina, it's the calm confidence she plays with. Yeah, she's amazing with it.
I will tell you this. People love Tina Charles here in Connecticut for obvious reasons, okay? The UConn fans of the world. See, ain't nobody asked y'all to clap for UConn. I ain't say that. See, no. The UConn fans are always going to show love to Tina. And so it was great when she decided to come back to the place where it started for her. And I've asked her about, what it means when you're looking at more years being behind you than in front of you. And she's been honest about like, hey, I know I'm getting to the end of the road, but I think it's important for young players to see a player that has realized that and still putting in the effort, still putting in the time, still putting in the work, as you mentioned, taking care of her body. So I think that's so important for our younger players to see. But looking ahead now, right? So the first month is behind us, right? You see what worked, you see what didn't, what improvements you feel like you need to make. How are you both looking at moving into this next stretch of the season? Like, what are some items that are kind of on your focus list moving into this next stretch in the season?
Yeah, our focus for the stretch of the season has to be, our focus, our consistency, our execution. We showed flashes of of who we can be, and so it's for why I won't say that we are focusing on our consistency. So we have to understand that a game it's 40 minutes. Okay, so quarter after quarter, but be capable to play with some consistency during 40 minutes.
Love that. How about you?
And I would say consistency, obviously, because we want to continue to build and continue to, stack some wins.
Yep.
But I think continuing understanding who we have to be as a team in that process, and that's gritty, that's scrappy, that's hard-nosed, that's together. And I think that's a part of our process, and we just have to continue along our journey.
I love that. Outside of the messages that you guys have for the team, there's also the message for the fans, right? Because the truth is the truth. When you are a fan of a franchise that has, 8 straight years of postseason success, when you are used to, this time last year, the team was 9-0, right? And so in your mind, you have to, as a fan, kind of transition the way that the team has to. And I think it's a fair assessment to say, hey, like as you've mentioned, every team goes through a new cycle. Every team goes through a new transition period, and this is ours. And so what's that message for the fans that are home watching and kind of going through this transition along with you?
We love and appreciate your support, not only the support that you are showing this year, but the support that you've shown to the Connecticut Sun over the years. Yep. But like we said, it's a process. This is a new cycle. We will continue to do our best to put the best product on the floor. So my ask and our ask is to stay in the fight with us.
I love that.
Yeah, so to all of our fans, we hear you, we see you, and we appreciate you. This time is the time to a big transition for us. And I want you to support us, and also you were here for the good time, but we also need when the time is tough, and the time is tough for us. But you are part of this process, so just please continue to support us, because we need that, and your energy fuels more than you know. So just please continue to be with us.
No, that's a great point. I love that. Your energy is unmatched, because the energy in the building last week was crazy against Atlanta, and I loved it to see it and to feel it. And I think it's even fair to say that the fans' energies probably matters now more than ever, because it's easy to cheer for the team when you win it, right? Like, it's easy to cheer for the team then. Like, this is where they need that energy. There's enough noise on the outside from people who aren't fans, who don't believe and will talk and say things. So you guys are needed more now than ever. And I need you guys more now than ever too, because it is almost time for our fan questions. So if you have not already submitted your fan questions, then please do. But before we get to that part, couple of housekeeping things. Number one, we've got some really cool events that are happening that you guys need to know about. So first, on this Friday, starting at 4 o'clock, the Sun is going to be unveiling its newly renovated basketball courts at Washington Park in Groton, which is in partnership with BuildSubmarines.com, General Dynamic Electric Boat, and the city of Groton. So there's going to be remarks from Sun President Jen Rosati, an appearance from Sun players, an ice cream truck. I'm already sold because the ice cream truck is there. A DJ, basketball clinic, like everything is going to be happening, and best of all, it's free. So if the ice cream truck didn't sell me, free 99 absolutely did. And so it's open to the public. We hope to see you guys there for that. So our first, before we get to the fan question, we got a jersey we got to give away. Ooh. Let's see whose it is. Ooh. Oh, see, we were talking about Sanaya, and it's a Sanaya Rivers jersey. Ooh. It looked like it's in my size, too. It's beautiful. Well, our winner of the Sanaya jersey is Miss Diane Aubin. Oh, Diane, look at you. You want to give it to her, Coach? Yes, yeah. Come on up here and get your jersey. Oh, no, it looked like it's her size, too. I can't even steal it. Oh, yeah. Got to. Oh, AJ. I love that. You're more than welcome. Congratulations. All right, so first fan question for both of you. Is there one WNBA player that is not on the Sun who you would like to coach?
I would say Stewart.
Really?
Yeah, with Stewart. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why?
No, yeah, of course, why?
Is there one NBA player that's not on the Sun you would like to coach?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's a great player, and I think she can fit with my system. You know, she has a high basketball IQ,
Yeah.
and she can play multiple positions. So I like this kind of player.
I love that. How about you, Coach?
For me, I'm not sure if this is a trick question. But I like to say that I'm appreciative of the players that we currently have on the Connecticut Sun.
Yeah.
I've had the opportunity to coach a ton of players. I think that they all bring something great to each organization that they're a part of, but I think this process that we are in right now, I think that's my sole focus in continuing to uplift and continuing to build the players that we currently have on our roster.
Look at you evading a question. Look,
Yeah,
she
this is
evading
easy.
that.
This is easy, I'm sure.
Easy question. Evading a question. Okay, so second question. Since you've been in Connecticut, do you have a favorite memory so far? So anything stand out since you've been here? Favorite memory?
To be honest, I didn't have time to do some outside stuff, but I would say our first win home game, in front of our fan base. It was an amazing experience to see the crowd and loud. So this is my best memory so far.
I love that. Okay.
For me, I would say the same basketball-wise. I think that the first win that we had here in Mohegan was pretty awesome. I thought that we played a very good game as a team, something that we had been waiting on for a while. So the feeling and the emotion was very high to see the team being rewarded for the hard work that they've put in. And then I would say on a personal note, me and Rachid had our first work date here at Tom's Watch Bar, just coincidentally, and then here we are today having a talk show here. And I think that it was a good memory for me, being that I didn't really know him. We hadn't met, and I came here for maybe like a week or something in January once he got hired, and we hung out and we came to Tom's Watch Bar and shared wings and just shared stories, and I really appreciated that time. And that's something that will stick with me.
I love that. And the wings here are bomb, too.
Yeah.
So that was a good choice to get the wings. The nachos are good, too. So, no, that's really dope. I love that. I thought it was so cute at the end of the game on last week after the win. Some of the newer players didn't realize that at the end of the game, we throw out balls to the fans. And so it was the joy on their faces to, like, indulge in that part of the win. It was the best. I'm like, throw the balls, girls. Y'all got it. So another really quick memo before we go to our third question is after Friday on Saturday, the Sun is going to be celebrating Black Music History Month for the first time ever. So it's the first Sun and Soul Fest, which is presented by Xfinity. If you love music, this is where you need to be. It's a vibrant celebration of creativity, connection, culture. It's a family-friendly event. It's going to be on this Saturday from 3 to 7 at Hygienic in New London. And for a $10 donation to the Connecticut Sun Foundation, attendees can enjoy an exciting afternoon of inspiring art by local talent. There's live music, there's community building, there's connection, and then there's even some catered food from Favorites Bistro. Y'all know me by now. You talk about food, I'm there. So make sure you guys are there for that. And then you'll need to be in the building on Sunday, because Sunday the Connecticut Sun is playing the Chicago Sky right here at Mohegan Sun Arena. And afterwards, they are going to be hosting an all-star fan fest on the Sun patio. DJ Sincere will be there, games, food. Tina's going to be there. Marina's going to be there. They definitely better win so that they can be in good spirits after this game to show up. Free T-shirts, and the first 250 people that arrive will get that free T-shirt. There's also there's a show that they have voted that day for Tina and Marina. So because it's for All-Star, if the first 250 fans that show up and show that they voted for Tina and Marina to be in the All-Star game, you get a free T-shirt. So make sure you claim your free tee after the win on Sunday, that we claim it in advance. All right. So, fan question. Can Liv dunk?
I would like to say yes.
She dunks.
I think I've seen her dunk before.
Yeah, she already dunks, but she didn't do it during her game. But I think that she dunks.
She dunks?
Actually, she dunks. Yep.
I feel like I've seen her do it before, but never do it in a game, like at shoot-around.
Yeah, I haven't seen it this year, but I would like to think that with her athletic ability and her length, that is very well possible.
I believe so. So, Coach, now the ask is, tell Liv for the social team, she gotta throw one down real quick.
I'll be sure to relay the message.
All right. So, another question about Sanaya. What surprises you most about Sanaya Rivers? Anything surprise you about Sanaya?
I wouldn't say surprise, and I wouldn't say surprise because I don't like to limit people and limit who they are and limit what they are and what they're capable of.
Yep.
But the thing that is, she's beyond her years in the way that she thinks and the way that she speaks. Mm-hmm. I think the way that she delivers a message and how compelling she is and how articulate she is, yes. I think that is a really, really awesome trait in a young person.
Yeah. Not
just a player. I'm talking about the person that she is, and I think that she is really, really loving. Yeah. And she's really caring and giving and sweet in the way that she gives to people.
Yeah. I love that about her. All right, Coach. This one is for you.
Yep.
All right. What area do you think the team is doing well in, and what areas are you working on to improve? So you kind of talked about it a little bit earlier, but maybe something different or whatever that thing is.
I think that the team and the players are resilient, and because lose how we did against New York and lose how we did against Washington, it's very tough, so how we come back when you come up, for the next practice, I would say that the players are very resilient, and it's something I appreciate from this team. And I just want to repeat, what I said about our area of improvement. It's the consistency, just to be consistent, because like I said, we show the good things, but we just need to believe on our potential, play with more confidence, and just make sure that we play our game during 40 minutes. That's all. Consistency it is. All right, folks. So before we get out of here, I want to remind you guys that the Connecticut Sun has launched a really dope thing called the Connecticut Sun Bar League. It's a new initiative, and it's designed to bring excitement around WNBA basketball to some local bars and restaurants. And so it's a unique opportunity that's running now from June through September. And this Bar League, it offers establishments an opportunity to align with the Connecticut Sun and their professional sports team while creating very fun, unique, and unforgettable opportunities in your bar. So if you know a local bar outside of Mohegan Sun, let's go ahead and add them to the Connecticut Bar League. If you guys want more information on any of the things that I mentioned today, you just go to sun.wnba.com and you can get all the info there. But for me, I am your Connecticut Sun sideline reporter, Terrika Foster-Brasby. This is Coach Rachid, Coach Roneeka, and this has been our first episode of the Coaches Show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Tell a friend to tune in. I hope you'll be back. I hope you'll be back at some point. Don't run away. And thank you guys. Make some noise for yourselves. Thank you.